This one shows an early stage malignant tumor, and of course it had to be verified with a biopsy, but that's an idea there. And then we can also give you some information about inflammatory breast cancer. How many of you have seen a video on inflammatory breast cancer? I've got one that's coming up, and Dr. Vaughn, I forgot to ask you if your video or your audio is on for video. It's on, so just go ahead and punch that. Okay, so there is about a 3 to 4 or 5 minute video coming up about inflammatory breast cancer. That's pretty interesting.
Need to turn up the volume.
Well, she's not even talking yet anyway. Oh, it's not going to work. I used it 2 days ago. But you know, I copied it and put it on the flash drive. I wonder if that did it.
You want to try it from the flash drive?
Oh, I have no idea. Technology. Sorry about that. It is a pretty good little video, though, especially if you've never seen
Do you
inflammatory.
want me to try to find it?
I guess you could if you wanted to. Yeah, to frost.
Well,
Frost too.
but that's what we already got pulled out.
It could be in my Dropbox. Remember, go to,
Radio program?
PowerPoint. Oh, this is only part of what's in there. Put it up there. Okay, that's it. I think it's gonna be in there then. Okay. I am sorry about that. It's a great video. Basically, inflammatory breast cancer is a quote-unquote newer type of cancer that does not exhibit as a lump. It is a nest of cancer that grows in a sheet across your breast. And it's the fastest growing kind. It is the most fatal. We have had 16-year-olds die of this. There was on the video, it showed the picture of the young gal.
16?
Yes, and you know, at that stage, you don't know enough about your breast to even know something's going on, you know, and it's very fast growing. And so the video alerts us to the fact that most of the breast cancer centers, you know, that women can call the hotlines, do not even know what inflammatory breast cancer is. Yet, it has the same amount of women have inflammatory breast cancer as the gene problem with breast cancer. And here we are spending all our money on the genetic research and not even alerting women to the fact that it can be connected with 6% of our cancers, very similar to our genetic problems. So visual signs of this, they think, medical doctors a lot of times have treated women for an insect bite. You know, then they'll go in and if they've got some kind of a little spot and they'll give them antibiotics. And they come back and several of them have died just very, very quickly within 6 months because it has spread very rapidly. And a mammogram does not pick it up because it looks for lumps. It does not pick up a sheet of cancer. So self-examinations do not even detect it, and they don't even know what causes this kind of breast cancer. They're just clueless, you know. And so thermograms will detect it, and I've got a couple pictures. So we can take pictures that are kind of a grayscale. So when you look at that one, can't you see something wrong on the right side? You can see it in that one. And then you look at the right one, you're red hot, and it just spreads. So it will cause some inverted nipples, you know, some swelling, a little bit of itchiness, maybe an orange peel effect, you know. But it comes on so fast, and women are not told or educated about it, and we really have problems. Yes.
Now that you're talking about this, I got an email. You know how people just send emails, and it was talking about that. And the lady they showed pictures of a lady's breast when she first kind of, it's like a little bite. It looks like it just starts spreading, and it's awful.
Yes.
It's
It's
puffy
supposed to be
and
painful. Is that
yeah,
It's
it is.
pretty painful.
And her doctor kept saying she must have gotten bitten by a spider or something like that. They were treating it for that with antibiotics.
Yeah. So, and you know, would you take a 16-year-old to get a mammogram? Hey, I have done a 6-year-old girl with a breast lump. I did a
Oh, wow.
We ended up having her put just liquid iodine on and faded right away. But you know, what would you do with a 6-year-old? You know, you know. So, and I've even had a man come. Well, I was doing a commercial, and he was the photographer, or whatever, camera person, and he kept looking at me funny when I was talking about thermograms. And after the break, he came over and he said, I just had a mammogram. And he had a lump underneath his arm, and they made him go in for a mammogram. And to him, the most embarrassing part of it was he, quote unquote, they had to sneak him into the women's locker room. There were no facilities. Yeah, they called it a locker room. I'm like, okay. But, a very, once he had done that, he knew why women hated mammograms. But until then, a man doesn't have any, conception of what's going on with those mammograms, So it was quite the different view. So all kinds of aspects, it can be a useful, the thermogram can be a useful tool for many age ranges. These are some different pictures that I really like. We have trouble with estrogen dominance, but until we visualize it or see it, we don't know to take care of ourselves. So the one on the left with all the varicose-looking veins, that's an estrogen dominant look that shows up on the thermograms. And all she did was go to somebody like Vaughn, who was wonderful, and taught her how to clean out her body and take a liver detoxification and, some of those kind of things. And you see the picture on the right, how she could clean out. Wouldn't you like to know and come back and have proof that you improved your body, rather than waiting for a lump to appear on the mammogram? So this is why it's a great tool to work with. This is a picture I kind of mentioned earlier on aspartame. Does that picture on the left look right? You don't even know anything about, nobody has to know, we don't have to be rocket scientists, that red is red hot inflammation. And she came to me 2 times and she was the same red like that. And I said, what are you doing? We went through it, and finally she mentioned she was a diet pop drinker, 12 cans a day.
Oh, man.
And I talked her out into going off of it. And she came back in 10 days, and she was radically better. I was really surprised.
That's 10 days?
Yeah, I was really surprised. I was just kind of like, really?
Wow.
Because it does mess up your liver big time and causes all that inflammation. Now, I have another website I might direct you to. It's called myaspartameexperiment.com. It's fabulous. A lady tried to get her family to quit drinking diet pop, and so she was a mathematician working for us, had a master's degree, and she decided to raise rats and feed them 3/4 of a can of diet pop equivalent. It was a powder form, whatever the rats ended up getting. But within 2 years, her group of rats were dead. And she had statistics that 37% of them developed tumors. 37% developed tumors. We have a food in our products, in our chemical, in our food supply, that can cause that many tumors. And of course, isn't that Monsanto product? Yeah.
Aspartame is a Monsanto product, right?
Don't love Monsanto.
Wow.
So anytime they do any studies, the rats die radically. They have all kinds of brain cancer, and it just goes on and on and on. So hers was really the first study that shows the rats with the, a private study that was done. And she put it on the internet for anybody to see. So go to myaspartameexperiment.com. And the tumors are like a pillow. The rats are actually sleeping on their own tumor in 2 or 3 pictures. And she's got pages and pages, And the males, a lot of them were born, after a couple generations, they were born without eyes and prostate problems. It just goes on and on.
Wow.
So, but some women, that's all they need is a picture like that to see. So, but do check out myaspartameexperiment.com. Also had a picture of a gal with 15 years of birth control use. So is it any wonder that you don't? We're going to have a huge rash of problems with our younger gals. Now, when you come to me for a screening, I'm going to take a complimentary picture of your thyroid area. So you'll tip your head back like this. And can you see that big blue goose egg there? You think that's right or wrong? Right.
That's good.
No.
Is that a goiter?
That's your thyroid. Do you think you want your thyroid cold?
No.
Shows cold,
That
doesn't
shouldn't be.
it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the breast
Yeah,
is blue.
that's right, yeah. But isn't that interesting? We just have to think just a little bit, a cold thyroid tells us it's not working.
Something wrong, okay.
Yeah, it's not working very well. It's not up to snuff. So isn't that easy with a picture, And many, many women come in and say, I've had my thyroid tested. They say it's okay. Well, that's a number system. This is your body, your temperature. You could go, do the Barnes temperature test too. You can check to see what your temperature is, but that just clicks and it's very easy to see that. And then this area right here shows us lymph node congestion. And Dr. Vaughn loves lymph node information, and he's got a cellicizer that works really, really well for working on lymph nodes. And then I show you some exercises when you come in to clean out those lymph nodes and work with those. And I've had 6 women now who have actually had their fibrocystic breasts go away overnight. All the lumps disappeared overnight with exercises that I showed you.
Wow.
So we can do a lot of things just putting our heads together and learning. I also take a picture of you like this, or the second one shows dental inflammation. That one isn't hard to see either, is it?
No.
See the lady's green chin? Look at all the dental inflammation and look at it go down and through.
Oh.
So I always take those pictures for you to see where you're at with your dental health. And a couple of times I've had women that the dental inflammation just circles right around, goes right into the thyroid.
Wow.
It's just filling the thyroid up with dental toxin.
Oh, I can't
So
stand
then at least
this.
you have a picture. It's like, oh, this could be my problem.
So when you say the breast cancer linked to dental, is it that it drains and goes
Yes.
toxins? Okay.
I can do that.
Oh.
And then there's also an electrical conductivity, meridians that are connected to
Okay.
with that. Two different ideas, two different ways.
I was at the dentist yesterday and had my teeth cleaned. But my sister had left a message on my voicemail that she had been watching Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz said, don't get dental x-rays. And then if you have to have dental x-rays, make sure you ask for the shield that protects your thyroid. So then it happened that the very next day, I was getting my teeth cleaned and they wanted you to do x-rays, and I said, no, I don't want any. And they said, well, it's been 2.5 years, and I said, I don't care, I'm not ready for them. And I asked about the thyroid cover, and they said, well, yes, we have it, we've always had it. And I said, but I've never been given it or used or whatever.
Heard of that.
And she said, my dentist said, well, we've just never felt that we have it, and we've just never felt that it was important. We thought it was more important to protect she said that the radiation from the dental x-rays would affect your female organs, and we thought it would be more important to protect that, and your thyroid didn't need it.
And why do we have to make a choice?
Yeah,
exactly. Right.
And you have it there.
I know.
Oh, how
It-
sad.
Yeah, it really made me want to change dentists.
Yeah.
And I have taken a picture of a woman, and her face was absolutely bright red. And we stood there for several minutes going, now, what have you done? What have you done? She goes, I don't know. 2 days later, she called me up. She goes, I was at the dentist 3 days earlier and had x-rays.
Oh, wow.
So how long does that radiation?
Ooh.
She came back in 3 months and she was okay. But it would have been really a neat little record to see how long that radiation bothered her.
And they go through the whole thing, well, it's
Yeah.
such a small amount of radiation, it's no big deal.
Yeah, you get that
And
much
then you
radiation
say-
in an airplane. Have you ever heard that one?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, through your windshield of your car, and
Yeah. We have to take better care of ourselves than sometimes they want us to. Obviously, they're in the business to sell things to us. I mean, there's always different reasons for everybody, and we have wonderful doctors, we have wonderful dentists, but, we do have to take care of ourselves and use our brains a little bit more. This picture on the left shows an estrogen overload, in a different way, but I showed it to you in a black and white version earlier. This gal was a soy eater, eats soy all the time, so she's going to come back in 3 months.
Now, how can you
Soy.
tell that's an estrogen overload?
They've just figured that out from thousands of thermographs that
Okay.
come in, putting together the statistics
Okay.
and the ideas. So, and then the one on the right is a back view, and I don't know if you can see the little blue dot. Is that more easy to see or not?
Mm-hmm.
But if we have a blue spot on our T2 area in our back, that tells us immune system dysfunction. So even just, a picture of your back can alert you to the fact that your immune system is really under a stress load, and you can work to get it back. Lots of supplements that Dr. Vaughn has here can, alert you and help you with your immune system. So it's just a great system, to be able to just take these pictures. All you're going to do is sit on a stool, you put your hands above your head, and you just turn around and take different shots so that we can get lots of ideas for you. This is a side view of one. Do you think that's a good picture of your lymph nodes? I didn't explain a lot to you. I just said red's hot
Yeah.
and blue's cold. What do you think?
I think, yeah, because that shows that they're working from there.
well, no, it's hot, so the lymph nodes are under your arms and they're here in the neck.
Yeah. I need to put one more in there so you have a different one. This lady uses antiperspirants 3 times a day.
3 times a
Does that tell you,
day.
does that tell you
Wow.
She said she is a sweater, little tiny person, 3 times a day more than any person is. So she's full of all kinds of toxins. She's being heated up here. So I've done about 700 women now, and I've had about, I think my count is 12 women that just have a little tiny blue spot right underneath their arm. Everybody else is red, has a bigger red spot. This lady is the exception, you know, all the way down here. But what do you think the women do who have the blue spots underneath their arms for deodorant?
They don't use it.
They don't use it, or they use vinegar or baking soda. A couple of them had used a salt. Do you have that kind of a deodorant bar here?
That's what I use. I don't have it here.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But 12 out of like 700 are cool, and everybody else is hot. So we have to be very, very careful of our deodorants. They are filling us up with toxins. I mean, without a doubt, you know. There's estrogen again. Now this one is interesting too. The lady came to me, and her first picture, when we sent out to the medical community, they were very concerned and said, "Oh, you need to get a mammogram, and there's all kinds of problems going on, you know." And she chose to work with me and work with emotions and hormones. And she came back 3 months later, and look what she looked like. And we sent that out to the medical doctors, and they said, "Oh, she's okay." You know? So you can do something. But what if she would have chosen the mammogram and the other route? Don't know. You know, who knows? But she knew that her emotions needed some support, so that worked really well. So it cleaned up very nicely. This shows you a cyst. This is a little bit different camera system, but you can still get the idea. You can see that cyst very easy, no matter which system takes the picture. We can tell you about breast cancer in men. You know, a lot of women are choosing to kind of drag their guys in because we can also give you information about the heart at the same time. And I'm not sure exactly how the doctors do this. I can follow through a little bit more on the breast ideas, but when they're talking about the heart, it's blue, quite a bit bluer. They've got certain patterns that they're looking for. But so the women are bringing their husbands in and kind of getting their hearts checked out very easily. And then they also get their guys taken care of with their breast exam too, because that's starting to be more and more. Did you hear about the 12-year-old boy that had a double mastectomy?
No.
Yeah. So they said he was very, you know, estrogen overloaded probably from all that. Can I say McDonald's or, you know, any of the fast food places? You know, he was very much, you know, very chesty for a young boy, but a double mastectomy at age 12. So, other things that we can see, rebounding is really, really good for your lymph nodes, and we already mentioned the Celicizer. So I need to update this slide. Use a rebounder for 7 to 10 minutes, and I need to tell you that the latest research is use it 2 to 3 minutes at a time.
Really?
Yes, they have done research with women with breast cancer, and it's much better to just go in and run and jump on it, really, you know, burst of energy for just a couple minutes, but do it 3 or 4 times throughout the day. And that was specific for breast cancer that they did that research on. So here's Rebounding Proof. You can kind of see the difference in that cleaning out just with, I think it was 2 months of bouncing on that, the rebounder. And then I have one more tool. I just have 2 more slides. I'm just about done. I don't know time-wise where we're at. I'm sure I'm over because I'm a talker. But I have a new tool for you for breast health, and I would like to offer it to all of you for free if you'd like to come in and use it sometime at my office next door. And it's called a biomat, and it's very useful for breast health. And it's just simply a mat that's the size of a massage therapy table. And it is about 17 different layers of technology, you know. And they're running infrared heat through amethyst crystals, which makes it very unusual. And there is some information out about infrared heat being very good for our health, obviously, in a sauna format. But this is a little bit different, and they say that the amethyst crystals magnify it about 200 times or improve the qualities about 200 times on the infrared heat. And so a medical doctor in Japan has written a book on how he uses this for all kinds of cancer. It's his favorite tool for cancer. So he's using natural methods in this. And basically it sounds like he's cleaning up their diet a little bit, giving them just minimal supplements and this. So this is his major tool. And he has pictures of mammograms with women with the breast cancer, and they'll lay on the mat for 2 to 3 months, and the breast cancer is gone. He has the after mammograms.
Wow.
So very, very interesting. So that's why I bought that system. And so it's available to lay on for about 20 minutes. And you're welcome to come and have a free session on it just to see. So it's a really nice heated feeling. We've had lots of people who've tried it say that they're sleeping better. I had one woman who did have she'd had dizziness for about a week. And she came in and laid on that for 30 minutes, and when she got up, she'd been over, tied her shoes, and, was all practically standing on the floor and was not dizzy at all. So those are the two that I personally have so far. But the medical doctor has really used it for a lot of cancer, so it's very, very interesting. And if you know any woman that has breast cancer, please send her in. I'll gladly give her some free time.
And do we make an appointment to use it?
Right now, I just got it about 2 months ago, so sometimes you might be able to walk in. It's about a 20-minute time period. You might have to wait 20 minutes. Or if it's 2 or 3 months from now, when you're thinking about it, you probably should call in. But if you do it in a couple of weeks, you can probably just walk right in. And I have the information for you right here. The phone numbers to call, things like that. There's a little brochure on that too. So, I guess this is a quote from his book. This is a medical doctor. When we started using this device, our treatment results increased dramatically. There were cases where breast cancer and prostate cancer completely disappeared within 2 to 3 months. It not only cures cancer. Now, he's using the word cure. In America, this is a Japanese doctor. In America, we might not be able to say that. It not only cures cancer, but it's also able to have a curative effect on diabetes, hypertension, depression as well. So I'd love to have you come use it. If you have testimony, it would be great to share with you. And I just want to thank you for coming tonight very, very much. Any questions?
I do. Sometimes I feel lumps, but they go away. And I've been doing the lymphatic drainage, and I had a lump that I noticed it was real sore. It's been a couple weeks ago, and then I did the lymphatic drainage, and after the drainage, it was a lot better, and then like 2 days later, it was gone. So is that just because there was a blockage?
Probably.
I mean,
you can't say that all together,
Right.
but it makes a little bit more sense. Now, the other thing would be our bras. Our bras are really dangerous.
Yeah, she talked about that.
Yeah. So, if you're especially wearing an underwire bra, it's going to cause some damage for you. So be very careful.
No, I don't wear those. I can't stand them.
Okay, what they're discovering, again, that information comes from here in Kansas City, the estrogen and testosterone, it messes with that. Okay. Now think about your, what's an antenna on your car? It's a wire that pulls in frequencies.
Oh, yeah.
So we have a wire pulling in frequencies that are known to mess with our estrogen and testosterone.
Wow.
Sorry, Dr. Vaughn, but it makes me look like I got something.
No.
Excuse me. Oh, man.
But be very
I'll never
careful.
be discovered.
Yeah, be very careful. Well, see, we'll put you to work. Design a better bra. You can do your share here, because there is starting to be lots of questions and problems with that, and so even that can be messing up your lymph nodes here. I will show you just a real quick exercise if you're interested. When my mother had she had a lumpectomy and she had radiation. And she was 75. She didn't tell anybody for a year and a half that she became hard as a rock and beet red. And she was fairly busty, so that was a problem. We're going, you didn't tell us. So I made her go back to her doctor, and I was teaching school at the time. I wasn't even doing this, so I said, your doctor should tell you what to do, Mom. So she goes in, and her story is that the doctor kind of marches in like this and said, well, we cooked you. Radiation cooks you. And then he left her. That was he didn't have any answer for it, So for a while I was really mad, and then I finally thought, these poor doctors, they don't know what to tell women. I feel sorry for them, they're not really using some common sense. Wouldn't that be a great thing for him to have been able to give her something that he couldn't? So luckily a nurse rescued her, and she just came in, told my mom to cross her hands like this. I want you to do this with me, just right here. 2 fingers underneath your collarbone area, right here, and she just told her to do feather-like strokes. And she did them for 3 to 5 minutes, a couple times a day. She couldn't remember the exact amount of time. She's sitting on the couch, and within a week, all her redness was gone. Within a week. She'd had it a year and a half, and in a week, it had cleared out. So this is another lymph node drainage.
Really?
So this area right here is a really good lymph node dump, according to some other women that know about it. Somebody else said it's an acupuncture, it's a liver and lymph node point, but whatever it is, it's a good lymph node drainage area.
Huh.
So that really does detoxify you. So, those lumps can clean out along those lines. So then I actually put together quite a few more exercises and asked my mom to do those for about a month. I mean, I'm teaching school. I guess that's my contribution. I didn't do the Olivia Newton-John thing, but I came up with exercises. So I asked my mom to do those, and in about a month, her hardness was gone. And then those are the ones I share with you individually, one-on-one, when you come for a thermogram. And I've had 6 women whose fibrocystic problem has gone away overnight.
Hmm.
And that's what happened to me. I was very fibrocystic and I had all these lumps, so my doctors made me come in every 3 months after my mom and sister were, diagnosed.
Wow.
And, that was the wait and play the wait and see game. They just marked on my little diagrams and they'd say, well, just come in 3 more months, we'll watch them for you. And so after a year of doing that, paying whatever, $250 every time to get built up, I abandoned that, and luckily I discovered those exercises, put those together, and they went away overnight. I did these exercises within my hot tub, and I got up the next morning and they were all gone. And then I went back to the medical doctors and they verified it. They said, yeah, your lumps are gone across all the diagrams.
Wow.
We're not really interested to know the exercises.
Right,
You know.
of course not.
So,
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're gonna make
They're
money
free.
out of that.
I really, sometimes I come down too hard on medical doctors, but they are wonderful
So
people,
true.
but we have to be the ones responsible, and that's what the problem is. We are giving too much power to other people and animals. So you are not doing that because you're all here and you come to these things. So thank you again very, very much.
Does insurance, they cover the mammograms?
Oh, some of the insurance will cover it, not all of them now, but the more loud we are about it, the vocal, and the more receipts we send in, then it's getting better and better. I did have somebody from Blue Cross and Blue Shield say that if their doctor would write a prescription, that Blue Cross and Blue Shield would pay for it.
Really?
So that's a
Wow.
big one, but you have to get your doctor to write a prescription. Some will, some will not.
So if you pay for it out of your pocket, how much?
It's $195.
Okay.
And then I can also do half bodies and then full bodies too, and you can get quite a bit more information
Really?
on different areas. But I just specialize in breast health.
Right.
Bras.
Now, is it usually, I'm usually like my gynecologist writes my script out to go get a mammogram. Is it your regular doctor or your gynecologist?
Either
for
one.
insurance?
We're,
Either one?
as far as
Okay.
I'm understanding, they said just look for
Okay.
an ND. Look that.
Okay.
Now, how did you learn all this information? You just educated yourself?
I did. I mean, I was a nutrition to start with, a
Okay.
nutritionist to start with, and then just kept working.
Okay.
It was a little bit of digging. Took me several years.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's a lot of information.
Yes.
I have one more question. I don't know if I saw this. I'm a Good Morning America. And somewhere on TV I saw this where we wear bras for hours. We wake up in the morning, we put them on, they don't come off. Like mine's been on since this morning. When I
Right.
go home now, you take it off, take a shower. Is it something, because they say we should, they're up, kind of tight.
Right.
They don't get air.
Very good. And it's holding in all the toxins. Our lymph nodes are the dump. They're supposed to be dumping everything out. So if we hold the toxins in with our bras, then it is correct. That's where a lot of things get plugged up. So as much as you can, don't wear a bra or unhook it on your way home from work and get it off as soon as you get in the door.
Okay.
That is very, very good. And be careful with your sports bras too, because they say, oh, at least it's not underwear. But sports bras are made different, and they really smash the lymph nodes more. They kind of pull you this way and make a bigger mess.
My
with the
daughter
lymph
wears a bra
nodes.
24/7.
And that was my next
Sleeps in it?
point. What is going on with our younger teens? I
Wow.
bet every other mother tells me that their daughters are bringing bras to bed.
Huh.
And that is a no-no.
Mine used to.
There is a
when I got
statistic,
older.
yeah. There's a whole book called Dress to Kill, and it was written by Sidney Singer, who's an anthropologist, and his wife had breast cancer. And he studied these cultures where women didn't have breast cancer. And as soon as they went into the cities and had to start wearing bras, they had the same breast cancer rates as anybody else. But if they did not, if they stayed in the culture, they had no breast cancer whatsoever. And then he kept studying, and the women who wore bras to bed had a 124-fold chance of getting breast cancer.
Wow.
I think is what the
Wow.
statistic was. So again, it's holding those toxins in, not letting our body do its job and get things out. So, very good question. Yeah, so I don't know what it is. Are they seeing that on TV, or are they?
I don't know.
Or they just think, I do too.
I do too.
Yeah, do they like their
That's- yeah.
Victoria's,
It's
the
more of a
Victoria's
cosmetic
Secret?
thing.
Yeah.
They think, like you said, I think that's
Yeah.
what it is.
I'm hearing that time and time again.
Mhm.
They're just hanging on their pajamas and stuff.
What they don't know is harmful.
Yeah.
We actually have to be the ones educating. Well, ladies, come over and see me sometime if you're interested. Y'all have a free, y'all, don't you know? Y'all. You have a free